Hello everybody, this is a Lamley showcase. If you're watching this today when it's released, it's January 1st, so Happy New Year. If it's another day, enjoy the video. We are going M2 today, specifically M2 Auto Japan. Got my little pointer out here. MiJo Exclusives, M2 Auto Japan, 3,200 pieces on these three models. Auto Japan is the line that was released by M2 in 2017. I don't know if these are technically 2017 or 2018 models, but we have had a plethora of Japanese cars released from M2, 3 castings, all kinds of different colors, and M2 has now collaborated with M2, or I said MiJo has collaborated with M2 or vice versa, to create this special trio of cars. They've been a long time in the making. I think they are technically 2017 line for M2. And they are finally here. This came from our friends at SURPLUSgoodies, this particular set. There they are right here. Just want to make sure that I'm giving them the proper plug. SURPLUSgoodies sent me this set of 3. And we are going to open them up and take a look-see. All right, let's just get right to it. You might notice this packaging seems a little different. And the reason is because this is the MiJo Exclusives. I've seen this in Mexico too, this style of packaging. I'm going to try and move back just a tad here so you can so we have a little bit more room. I like this, to be honest. I know that Walmart probably wants them in the little boxes so they can put them on the shelf, but I like this kind of peg style. I think you're able to see the car better. I think it is able to display better, hopefully easier to open. So I think all we have to do here, they have, well, I'll show you the back here. Pretty simple. M2 machines. Logo, a little bit of information. There's your barcode. There you go. This is the 1971 Nissan Skyline Gtr. Like I said, they have done 3 castings so far, M2. I'm not even going to try and open it right now. I'll try and do that in a second when we do the actual showcase. I'm going to put that right here. 1970 Nissan Fairlady Z 432 in red. We'll compare that one to the other ones in just a second. And this last one, you know what? I won't even try and open it right now. This is the 1969 Datsun Bluebird 1600 SSS in a spectacular Advan livery. You know, as has been kind of the talk among the collectors, that the new 124 scale Datsun 510s or Bluebirds were put out by M2. They've been found in a few different places. I think there's been some confusion about when and where they're hitting Walmarts. And some of you have asked about that distribution. I am not entirely sure about it. I have decided, just for space reasons, I can't even jump into those. If one of them ends up on my desk, I'll definitely showcase it. But I really like the Advan one that they did with the gold rims, but I also like this one in the small 164 scale. So that's the one I'm going to keep. All right. You see all these models? Why don't we jump into them? We'll go quickly. We'll move over to the rotator. I'll open up these the Skyline, the 432, the Z432, and the Bluebird, and we'll put them in the little display. I'll be right back. Okay, we have 21 models to go through, so we'll do this quickly, but we'll spend a little bit of time on the 3 new ones. This is the Bluebird 1600 SSS Advan livery. You can see all the details here. Everything looks good in an Advan livery. It's just, there's just no way around it. You'd have a car, you put that livery on it, you put that color, that deco, it's a winner. Yokohama as well. So let's walk through these Bluebirds. This is obviously the 7th. I think this is also, if I remember correctly, the Chase version. I don't have it. I am hoping to get it. It has red tires, maybe some other trim versions, and some of the there's a kind of a Chase logo that they put on it now, for at least for Auto Japan. This is the first 1600 of the first set of 2 plus a Chase. This is roughly based on the rally style Datsun. We've seen this look before. Tomica Limited Vintage just put one out. We've seen it on a few. They also did a stock version. Oop, that's the Chase. Stock version of the 510 as well. That one has a little bit of a wonky tire on it, but kind of a very Japanese, what is that? Yellow, I don't know what you would call it. But in this first run, this is the initial Auto Japan. That was the Chase version. Now look at that, and you'll see how that kind of sits a little high, probably more stock in style, right? But you can see there's the Chase logo on the back window as well. So then M2 releases what they called, I think, the Hobby Exclusive set. So you had this cream colored version with the rally style. Then they did this hobby version, which I think was found at Toys R Us and mostly in hobby dealers like SURPLUSgoodies. So this is essentially a recolor of that cream colored one. Obviously it's a little different with the two-tone, with the blue and then the black roof. But the stock style wheels, and then they did a second color of the racing version. If you start sensing a pattern, you'll see that the stock version was the chase last time. And in this new hobby version, that's the chase. And if you also see, I think this is something that Sean, the designer at M2, wanted to do, is he lowered this one to make it more, to give it more of a somewhat modern but also racing look. So this one sits lower than the previous version. You can see this one sits more stock. They weren't able to differentiate the two. Now they've lowered it, and we also see that on the Advan as well. That is, if you're a collector of all these castings, those are all 7 that you need. Like I said, plus the chase. All right, let's move to the Z. Z432, the king of all Zs, I think. This is the new MiJo Exclusives version. And what do you want to call that? A candied red. Now these are kind of unique to their own. This MiJo version is not really based on the first 2 releases. So I would say this is more of, I mean, the color is obviously not stock, but the style is. I can't tell if those look like Steelies or not. Maybe. Advan tires on it look awesome. But this one does have the bumpers. And again, like what M2 loves to do, and this is kind of their niche, kind of their thing, kind of their signature, is that they will take these castings, but because they do so many different versions of these, or so many pieces, they can remove the bumpers, add the bumpers, change the interior, change the trim. They can do what they want. So now we're back to the first release. This was this was more of kind of a racing style. They did like the Datsun, they did a racing, or like the Bluebird, they did a racing version and a more modified version plus a stock version. So this is of the racing version. You can see no bumpers. This is also the chase in the first issue of the Auto Japan. So the red tires, black trim, and then if you look on the back window, you'll see, well, even on the door, you'll see the Chase logo. So there's that. Then there was the stock version in yellow with the steely wheels. So this one is more like the MiJo Exclusives in red, except this is more of a stock, obviously stock color in yellow. That was the first release. Then you see that it was essentially recolors. Here's your racing version. Same thing as the Bluebird. Sean got some time with this casting and was able to lower it. So it sits lower than the, you can see that. When we get to the side profile here, you can see how much lower that one sits, which I actually like that one sitting a little lower. Of all the Zs, my favorite, the Advan is my favorite of the Bluebirds, but this one is my favorite of the Z432. Looks really good in that kind of cream white. Really, really nice. That was from the Hobby Exclusive set. And, you're looking for a chase. In the case of the Hobby Exclusive set, the stock Z was also the super chase. So they'll do, in this case, they did 2 chases plus a super chase. So you had the Bluebird as the chase, and then we'll look at the Skyline. But this was the super chase, raw body, and then the chase logo. And then they, instead of the chrome color, they went black on the rims and on the trim, on the bumpers. Not bad, right? Cool. Red interior too. That's the super chase. All right, last car. Here is the Hakosuka Skyline, the GTR. Also sitting a little lower than the previous versions, but we'll get into that. Yokohama livery on the front side and on the rear. Looking really nice with that trim and the front chin spoiler. Trying to see if there's any Advan on this. I don't think so. Yokohama tires. Nice, right? Yeah, really nice. Okay, let's walk through these now. We'll start with that iconic racing deco. M2 decided to go with the blank roundels, which I think looks cool. We've seen this on a lot of Hakosukas, including the Hot Wheels versions, because this is the racing style of the original GTR. Steely wheels, high profile. That it actually sat high. This is more of a stock height for this, even the racing car. And again, just like the other Auto Japan, one racing, one stock. Love this color. I think there's a name for it, and I can't remember it offhand, kind of a mustard yellow, but there's a specific name for this color. It is a stock color, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And this also, like I said, Chase, Chase, Super Chase. So Z and Bluebird in the first two were the Chases. Here's your Super Chase. I think my favorite of the Auto Japan is still this one. Chrome trim turns to black, rims turn black, tires turn red, and the body is raw. Is that realistic? No. Is it cool? You bet it is. So that was the Super Chase. And then you walk over to, going over to the Hobby release. Oh, I got my hood. There we go. Stock color on the GTR, kind of that darker gray. Not totally gunmetal, right? Just a darker gray color. Sitting on the Steelies. Ride height still fairly high, but stock. And then that racing livery, we saw it in the blue trim. Now it goes yellow with the white body instead of the gray body. I like how M2 kind of alternates the stuff. I think a little speck of dust on that one. There we go. And in the Hobby, with the Super Chase being the Z432, then this one is obviously the standard Chase. Red tires, black trim, chin spoiler. Cool, right? And sitting a little lower than the first version. All right. That's it. That's 21 cars. That's the M2 Auto Japan series from 2017. There is 2 other versions coming. I've got to put the Chase in there. I'm really going to try and acquire that one. This one and the Chase. And then we have the SEMA exclusives that were shown at the SEMA show in Las Vegas in November. Collectors were able to reserve them that were there. I have a set reserved, and as soon as I get that, I'll probably add, and we'll walk through these again. All right, guys. Happy New Year to everybody. M2, great job. MiJo Exclusives, nice job as well. See you tomorrow. Bye.